Welcome, golf fans, pursuers of knowledge and the almighty dollar. This is your golf guru bringing you the CJ Cup hidden gems, my fades, sleepers, updates, ownership projections. We're going to knock it all out here in less than 5 minutes. So let's jump into this. So real quick, some updates. If you don't know, which I'm sure you probably do, that Dustin Johnson and Tony Finau have withdrawn due to COVID positive tests, which kind of stings. I was kind of hoping to see both of these guys play this course, but hopefully they get better. Hopefully it is not COVID and it's just tests that are, just didn't have enough time to get the negative ones back. So wish those guys the best. And then real quick, I don't know if you guys have watched the interviews with Brooks, Justin Thomas, and also Jon Rahm. They all three did interviews yesterday. And I just going to give you the highlights of what I gleaned out of there that, might be somewhat important. JT and Brooks have both played Shadow Creek a couple times, just kind of out there visiting the area. But at least they do have some minimum course history. So I thought that was interesting. Brooks actually arrived there this past Thursday. So he's been there, it'll be almost 7 days when he actually tees it up, practicing. So that's interesting. And he also stated he is 100%, got the hip and the knee back where they need to be. And, we take him on his word that he's there and expects to win. That is typical Brooks. Justin Thomas also, I thought it was kind of interesting, just mentioned that he thinks you're going to have to go low. You need to hit the fairways. And if you do that, depending on how the course is set up, but he thinks that, you're going to need to make a lot of birdies. And so with that said, we go with his kind of thoughts on it. We might be looking at a 20 under, maybe more kind of round that we're looking for. So we need guys that are going to go low. And then just a total side note, I just noticed in his interview, if you watch it, and I'll put the links to all their interviews down in the description. But it looks like JT is battling either some kind of fall cold or allergies. I'm not going to suspect, that he's got COVID conditions. Of course, that would come up on a test. I'm just saying, it's probably nothing, but just something to keep an eye on. And then the last thing was Rahm has actually never played Shadow Creek. His only history with the course is that he actually watched the match back in 2018 with Phil and Tiger. So that's it on the interviews. And then last, I just thought I threw this in there because it's kind of interesting. They were doing this 9-hole charity kind of when the season kicked back up, but they haven't done it in a little while, but they are going to have a 9-hole charity challenge tonight on the Golf Channel. So at 5 p.m. Eastern, you can grab it. They'll probably replay it again. So if you just want to see the course, maybe see, you don't glean a lot from this. The only time is I saw when Finau and Rahm played in it, and they, I believe it was at the Workday, they just boat raced the 9 holes. And so I put a lot, I said, hey, if these guys are that comfortable with the course, and, and I put a lot of them into my builds, and they actually both did very well. So out of that was a positive, but you'll get to see Ricky and Watson. They're paired up against Kevin Na and Binion in this 9-hole exhibition. So again, you get to see the course. You get to see maybe just a gleam of how these guys are hitting it. We have a good idea of how Na and Binion's hitting it, and Ricky, but we haven't seen Bubba since the U.S. Open. So just a side note to catch that tonight if you'd like to get a sneak peek at the course. So my fades, Tyrrell Hatton, who just won the BMW Championship overseas. I typically don't like playing guys that just come off a win. That's just, it just seems like they're mentally kind of spent. And also the travel. And really, same with Tommy. I'm actually kind of fading all the guys that were over. So you got Rose, Fleetwood, Hatton, Fitzpatrick, Shane Lowry. I'm probably missing someone, but those are all the guys that just, were over in Europe, played in the BMW. That's their premier event, like the Players is for the PGA. And so, I didn't list all those guys on here, but I'm kind of fading the group. Just, too much travel, and I'm not saying, Fleetwood had a decent round. Lowry had a decent outing there. Fitzpatrick decent, but also you got to look at the field. And Fleetwood hasn't been playing that well. Here's Justin Rose. Fitzpatrick's been So those are going to be my fades, along with Abraham Answer. I put him in here because I think everybody's going to be excited to play him because he had a 4th place finish at the Shriners last week. But when you look at the actual stat categories for shot gained, he did all okay off the tee, but lost on approach and around the green. And where he made it all up on was putting. And if you know Abraham Answer's game, he's not that great of a putter. That is way above his average. So that is unsustainable. So I'm going to be fading Abraham. I'm kind of hoping he's going to be chalky, because I don't think he can keep that up. So who's some hidden gems that I'm looking at? Again, these are guys below 7,000, lower ownership, and can help you. Again, I think it's going to be a bit of a studs and duds kind of lineup. So these are the guys that you're going to have to plug in if you're trying to pair together a JT and Rahm, or a Rory and JT, whatever the scenario is. I like Poston. Bent is a positive putting surface for him. He just had a 3rd at Sanderson Farms, a 27th at Shriners. And I put in, again, a no-cut event, the most recent one, the WGC at St. Jude, where he had a 30th. So, again, I don't think he's going to win, but he gets all 4 days, and, he'll get some birdies for you. And then Benny On is interesting because, the guy is an elite ball striker, but his putter for the last 5 events has just been disastrous. And at the WGC St. Jude, I actually watched some of it last night. He was going into Sunday morning as not a co-leader, as in 2nd place. And then he had a disastrous Sunday. He shot a 73 where he was shooting 66, 65, 67. And the putter just let him down. And you can see, the stats that I'm putting up there was his shot gain statistics from the Shriners. And, he was positive everywhere except putting. And so my hopes are that he gets the putter back just even neutral, or just loses maybe a stroke. But Benny On can make some birdies and can get hot. So just note to self, that was in August timeframe. I think it was towards the end of August for WGC St. Jude, that he was going into Sunday as in 2nd place. Like I said, fell back and shot a 73, and then Cam Smith, also below 7,000. Bent is a positive surface for him. He at the WGC Mexico, he had a 22nd, 18th at the North Trust. I listed a lot of the no-cut events. The BMW had a 20th, 24th at the Tour Championship, and then just recently a 24th at Shriner. So I think those are viable plays down there if you are looking, again, to really kind of stack up on top. And then just, I didn't give a lot of ownership projections in yesterday's my picks preview kind of show. So I just wanted to let you know, who's where the ownership projections are right now. So the 3 highest owned, no shocker, Matthew Wolff, Schauffele, and JT. Not saying not to play these guys. I'm just letting you know, hey, if you're trying to pivot, you got Brooks, which is unknown, but right now he's under 5% owned, which I'm guessing that's going to go up the more that, these things get done. But, I am actually, if you want to glean what I'm kind of up to, I'm making builds with the guys that we know who have been playing and have been playing well. That would be your M's, Garcia's, Wolff, Louis. Those are kind of my core plays. And then I have made some builds with Brooks just because of the pivot. And we just don't know if Brooks comes out and plays what he says he's feeling. He's been practicing, he said, for the past 10 days, but we have no idea. It's not going to shock me if he comes out and he's rusty. But if Brooks, can play the way he plays, he gets all 4 days to get going. If he goes low Saturday, Sunday, who knows? Top 10. I don't know if he can win it, but he does, as he always does. That would be no shocker. So that's it. That gives you, and I'm not picking a winner, but if you put a gun in my head, you know what? I was thinking about going with Louis Oosthuizen. Again, it'd be his first win on U.S. soil. He's been playing really well. He plays well in these events, so I didn't put it on here, but that'll be my winner pick. I'm going to go with Louis. And if you're getting value from what I'm producing here, I'd really appreciate it if you like it, share it, and subscribe so you get all the updates on anything else that I release. As I mentioned, typically 3 different shows per week. So all the best. Best of luck at the CJ. Let's have a good weekend, and look forward to talking to you guys later. Take care.